Have you ever noticed how some women naturally command respect, remain difficult to manipulate, and carry themselves with a quiet confidence, while others unintentionally give away their power through the things they say? What if two simple things could completely change the way a woman protects her dignity and earns genuine respect? A wise woman understands that not everything needs to be revealed. She knows the value of her energy, her private world, and sometimes her silence. Before you speak, ask yourself, am I sharing this too soon? Is this information strengthening me or making me unnecessarily vulnerable? Does this person truly deserve access to this part of me? Real wisdom is not about saying everything that is on your mind. It is knowing what should remain private. Stay with me because we are going to explore two things a wise woman protects carefully: why they influence the way people treat her, and how practicing this kind of wisdom can strengthen your self-worth, protect your peace, and create healthier relationships without manipulation or pretending to be someone you are not. The first is the power of sacred silence. There is a form of strength that never needs to make an announcement. It does not demand attention or seek approval. You can simply feel it in the presence of someone who is calm, centered, and secure within herself. That strength is silence. Many people mistake silence for weakness. They think they have to explain every decision, express every emotion immediately, or reveal every detail of their lives to be understood. But a wise woman sees silence differently. Silence is not having nothing to say. It is having enough awareness to know when speaking is necessary and when it is not. Your words carry value. Once something leaves your mouth, you no longer control how another person interprets it. They may judge it, misunderstand it, dismiss it, or even use it against you. That is why a wise woman does not reveal every thought simply because she has it. Not every emotion needs an immediate explanation. Not every question deserves an answer. Not every person deserves unlimited access to your private life. We live in a culture that often confuses complete transparency with honesty. But being honest does not mean exposing everything. Wisdom understands that timing matters. Think of your inner world as a beautiful garden surrounded by a gate. Would you allow every stranger to walk inside simply because they were curious? Of course not. You would first observe them. You would understand their intentions. You would decide whether they had earned the right to enter. Your emotional world deserves that same level of protection. A wise woman does not feel obligated to explain every choice, reveal every plan, or constantly update people about her dreams. She observes, she listens, and when she speaks less, she often notices more. Silence gives people room to reveal themselves. When you stop rushing to fill every pause, you begin noticing how someone behaves, what they value, what motivates them, and whether their actions actually match their words. There is clarity in stillness. Just as calm water reflects more clearly than disturbed water, a quiet mind can see things that constant talking often hides. Some women give away their power because they reveal their plans before taking action. They expose their insecurities before trust exists. They explain their intentions before they have had enough time to understand the person in front of them. Then they wonder why they feel emotionally drained. Silence protects your energy, it protects your peace, and it protects your dignity. You do not have to prove your worth through endless explanations. Your character, consistency, and actions can speak for you. True confidence does not panic when it is misunderstood. It does not desperately chase validation. Sometimes saying nothing is not avoidance at all. Sometimes it is the clearest expression of self-respect. Sacred silence does not mean becoming cold, distant, or emotionally unavailable. It simply means understanding that your words are valuable and should be shared with intention. And if silence protects your outer world, there is something even more important to protect within you: your deepest emotional vulnerabilities. The second thing a wise woman does not reveal too quickly is her deepest emotional weakness. Vulnerability can be beautiful. It can create intimacy and genuine connection. But vulnerability without discernment can turn into unnecessary exposure. Some people believe that revealing every wound, fear, insecurity, and painful experience immediately will automatically create closeness. But real trust does not happen overnight. A wise woman understands that her emotional history is sacred. She does not give someone complete access to her heart simply because that person shows interest. Attention is not commitment. Attraction is not loyalty. Sweet words are not proof of character. There is a difference between being emotionally open and being emotionally unprotected. You can be authentic while still having boundaries. You can be warm without telling someone everything. You can care deeply without handing over the most sensitive parts of yourself before trust has been earned. Think about a strong foundation. It is built slowly, one piece at a time. Your emotional foundation deserves the same patience. Instead of immediately revealing your deepest wounds, observe how someone behaves when life becomes difficult. Watch whether they remain respectful when they are frustrated. Notice whether their actions stay consistent over time. Character is revealed through repeated behavior, not impressive promises. You are never required to share every painful chapter of your past simply because someone asks. You are allowed to take your time. You are allowed to protect your peace. You are allowed to decide who deserves to hear the most vulnerable parts of your story. Emotional discipline is a powerful form of self-respect. The world often encourages people to express everything immediately, but wisdom asks a more important question. Has this person earned the privilege of knowing this part of me? That question can change everything. Some people enter your life temporarily. Some are interested but not committed. Some may appreciate your kindness without knowing how to protect your vulnerability. A wise woman understands this without becoming bitter or suspicious. She remains loving, genuine, and compassionate, but she also becomes discerning. Let relationships unfold naturally. Give yourself enough time to observe before allowing someone to influence your emotional world. Your wounds are not entertainment. Your pain is not something you owe to anyone. Your healing deserves protection. Being emotionally available does not mean being emotionally accessible to everyone. The strongest hearts are not necessarily those that open immediately. They are the hearts that understand when to open, who to trust, and when to keep certain parts of themselves protected. Remember this, protecting your emotional world is not selfish. It is an act of wisdom, self-respect, and love for yourself. The people who genuinely deserve to know your deepest fears will never pressure you to reveal them immediately. They will give you time, and they will earn your trust through consistent behavior, respect, patience, and sincere care. Real trust is not created by promises alone. It develops slowly, and with enough time, a person's true character becomes impossible to hide. There is another important truth many women fail to recognize. When you constantly depend on another person to make you feel emotionally secure, you gradually hand them control over how you see yourself. And this leads to one of the most important lessons a woman can learn. Never become so desperate to be chosen that you forget what you were created to become. Never make a man the center of your purpose. One of the most damaging things a woman can do is lose sight of herself while trying to become the person someone else wants. Love is beautiful. Commitment is meaningful. Building a strong relationship is a wonderful part of life. But a healthy relationship should add value to your existence, not replace the life you were already meant to live. Before that man entered your story, you already had worth. You had dreams, abilities, interests, values, and a purpose that belonged to you. You had a life waiting to be explored and developed. The moment another person becomes the center of your entire existence, you can slowly begin giving away pieces of yourself that were never meant to be surrendered. Many women spend years pursuing love while ignoring their own growth. They sacrifice their peace just to keep someone's approval. They compromise their principles because they are terrified of rejection. They begin believing that keeping another person happy is their responsibility. Then one day they stop and ask themselves a heartbreaking question: who did I become? Sometimes the answer is painful because somewhere along the way, they stop choosing themselves. A wise woman can love deeply without disappearing inside the relationship. She understands that her purpose must remain bigger than her attachment to another person. No man should become your identity. No relationship should decide your worth. No person's opinion should determine the direction of your future. When your entire emotional world depends on someone's presence, fear starts making your decisions for you. You become afraid to disagree, afraid of disappointing them, afraid they might leave, afraid of being alone. But fear is one of the weakest foundations on which to build love. Healthy love cannot grow where constant self-abandonment exists. A wise woman continues developing herself whether she is single, dating, married, or moving through a season of change. She invests in her mind, her health, her character, her values, her abilities, and her personal growth. Becoming the strongest version of yourself does not take away from a relationship. It makes you more capable of contributing to one. The healthiest relationships are built between two people who have their own identities, dreams, and direction. They walk together, but neither person becomes the entire meaning of the other's existence. Your purpose existed before someone chose you. It will remain if someone walks away, and it will continue evolving as long as you remain committed to becoming who you are meant to be. Never use love as a reason to make yourself smaller. Keep learning, keep growing, keep developing your gifts, keep becoming the woman you know you can be. There is something naturally attractive about a woman who has direction. When she knows who she is and what she stands for, she becomes much harder to manipulate because she does not constantly depend on outside approval. She respects herself enough to leave situations that violate her values. She chooses peace over temporary attention. She understands that being alone is far better than betraying herself just to keep someone beside her. Wise women understand that relationships matter, but character, purpose, and inner peace matter more. Do not construct your entire life around another person's approval. Build a life that already has meaning so that when someone enters it, they become a beautiful addition rather than the foundation holding everything together. You were never created to become smaller so someone else could feel bigger. You were created to stand firmly in your own purpose, honor your truth, and recognize the value that already exists within you. A woman who protects her silence, guards her emotional world, and stays committed to her purpose develops something nobody can take from her: inner power. Now, there is another distinction every wise woman should understand: the difference between privacy and secrecy. Modern culture often creates the idea that if you do not tell people everything, you must be hiding something. People sometimes confuse privacy with dishonesty and silence with deception, but they are not the same. Privacy is rooted in self-respect. Secrecy often comes from fear. Privacy is a conscious decision to protect what matters. A wise woman understands this difference. She knows she does not need to explain every decision, announce every struggle, or invite everyone into the most personal parts of her life. Not everything precious needs to be displayed. Think about something genuinely valuable. You protect it because you understand its worth. Your peace deserves that same protection. So do your dreams, your healing, your personal growth, and the parts of your life that are still developing. Many people overshare because they are afraid of disappointing others. They worry that saying, "I'd rather keep that private," will make them seem suspicious or distant. But there is incredible freedom in realizing that you do not need permission to have boundaries. Trust has stages. It grows through time, consistency, character, and repeated actions. The amount of access someone receives should grow in the same way. Think about planting a seed. You would never dig it out of the ground every morning just to prove to everyone that it is growing. You would allow it to develop beneath the surface until it becomes strong enough to stand on its own. Your dreams can be like that too. Some goals are better protected while they are still developing. Some relationships become healthier when expectations are not rushed. Some transformations become stronger when you stop looking for constant approval from people who have not earned a role in your journey. A wise woman protects what is still growing. Some chapters of your life are meant to be experienced before they are explained. Some achievements become more meaningful when they happen quietly. Some changes are more powerful when nobody is watching. There is ancient wisdom in becoming comfortable with being misunderstood for a while. Not everyone needs to know where you are going. Not everyone will understand why you have changed. And not everyone deserves a front row seat to your life. When you stop constantly explaining yourself, you reclaim enormous amounts of energy. Instead of spending hours defending your choices, you use that energy to live them. Instead of trying to convince everyone to understand your path, you keep moving forward. The constant need to explain yourself often comes from wanting acceptance. But other people's approval can change overnight. Self-respect lasts much longer. Privacy teaches you emotional independence. It reminds you that your worth does not depend on how much of yourself other people approve of. People who genuinely care about you will respect your boundaries. They will not force you to reveal things before you are ready. They understand that trust cannot be rushed. Protecting your privacy does not mean building walls around yourself. Think of it as building healthy doors. Walls keep everyone out. Doors simply require the right permission to enter. Your heart should have doors, not revolving ones. There is incredible peace in no longer feeling responsible for narrating every detail of your life. You become more present, more grounded, and less dependent on outside validation. Some of the greatest transformations happen quietly. A butterfly does not announce its wings before they are ready. In the same way, you do not need to announce every stage of your transformation. And once you understand the value of privacy, something else naturally begins to appear in your presence: mystery. People may become curious about you, not because you are playing games or deliberately trying to make them chase you, but because you have learned to value yourself enough to reveal yourself gradually. That is where genuine mystery begins. Mystery is not something you manufacture. It cannot be forced. It is simply what happens when someone does not feel the need to expose their entire world immediately. In a culture where people are encouraged to broadcast every thought, achievement, emotion, and personal detail, there is something powerful about remaining centered and selective. A wise woman understands that mystery is not a strategy for controlling someone else's attention. It is a natural result of being deeply connected to yourself. She does not feel pressured to display her entire personality within the first conversation. She does not rush to reveal every detail of her past simply to make another person comfortable. Human beings naturally appreciate discovery. Think about your favorite book. If someone told you every chapter, every twist, and the ending before you ever opened it, much of the excitement would disappear. Discovery creates appreciation. And when you allow people to discover you naturally over time, you give them the opportunity to appreciate not just what you say about yourself, but who you consistently prove yourself to be. Relationships work the same way. When someone gets to know you gradually, they often appreciate the journey much more than when everything is revealed immediately. Respect grows through discovery. Many people unknowingly weaken their own presence because they feel pressured to impress others from the beginning. They talk too much about their achievements, their struggles, their plans, and their personal lives because they believe sharing everything will create instant connection. But meaningful connection cannot be forced. It develops naturally. A wise woman knows she is not a product that needs to be advertised. She is a person with layers, experiences, values, and depth that deserve to be understood over time. Mystery creates respect because it silently communicates, "I am comfortable enough with myself to let things unfold naturally." When people cannot immediately figure everything out about you, they begin paying greater attention to your behavior. Your consistency becomes more noticeable. Your character becomes clearer. Your values reveal themselves through your actions. Respect begins when curiosity is given enough time to become understanding. Mystery also protects you from people who only want shallow connections. Someone who expects instant emotional access may become uncomfortable when you establish boundaries. They might call you distant or misunderstand your privacy. Let them. The right people will not be threatened by healthy boundaries. They will appreciate the fact that you have depth and understand that meaningful relationships require patience, trust, and time. Many people surrender their emotional power because they desperately want to be liked. They reveal their insecurities, dreams, fears, and personal history almost immediately because somewhere inside, they fear that withholding anything might cause rejection. But if being accepted requires you to abandon your wisdom, that is not genuine acceptance. You do not have to become louder, smaller, or constantly available to deserve love. Real confidence is usually quiet. A wise woman does not desperately seek attention. She naturally earns respect by being genuine, grounded, and intentional. She can sit in a conversation without needing to dominate it. She can allow people to wonder about her passions, her dreams, and the experiences that shaped her. Mystery does not mean hiding yourself. It means giving life the opportunity to reveal you naturally. When you stop desperately trying to make everyone understand you, your presence becomes more authentic than any carefully created image. People remember calmness. They remember dignity. They remember those who brought peace instead of pressure. And sometimes the most powerful presence belongs to the person who never needed to demand attention in the first place. But there is one final discipline that brings all of this wisdom together: learning to speak less and observe more. One of the most valuable skills you can develop is observation. Most people listen only long enough to prepare their next response. They speak because they want to be heard, rather than listening because they genuinely want to understand. A wise woman takes a different approach. She knows that observation can teach her things that conversation never will. People reveal themselves through their habits, their treatment of others, their consistency, their emotional control, and the choices they make when nobody is watching. You do not have to interrogate someone to understand their character. Give them enough time, and their behavior will answer your questions. Time reveals what words can hide. Think about how someone handles disappointment. Watch how they treat people who have nothing to offer them. Notice whether they respect your boundaries or repeatedly test them. Pay attention to whether their actions match the promises they make. Characteristic is not discovered through beautiful conversations alone. It becomes visible through repeated behavior. There is great wisdom in slowing down. Modern life encourages instant communication, instant attraction, and instant emotional attachment. But wisdom does not rush. A wise woman never allows loneliness, excitement, or attraction to replace discernment. Emotions can be beautiful, but they become dangerous when they are allowed to control every decision. Listen to what someone says, but pay even closer attention to what they consistently do. Sometimes remaining quiet for a few moments can teach you more about someone than hours of conversation. Notice who becomes uncomfortable when you stop explaining yourself. Notice who respects your boundaries without turning them into a personal attack. Notice who remains consistent when life becomes inconvenient. Life is always giving you information. The question is whether you are quiet enough to recognize it. Many people lose their peace because they ignore what they already see. Their intuition warns them. Their experiences give them evidence. Yet they become distracted by charm, promises, chemistry, or the potential they imagine in another person. Wisdom pays attention. A wise woman trusts time because she understands that time eventually exposes patterns. Masks become harder to maintain, hidden intentions become clearer, repeated behavior becomes impossible to ignore. That is why patience is one of wisdom's greatest companions. When you speak less, you create room to observe. When you observe carefully, you make better decisions. And when your decisions become wiser, your peace becomes easier to protect. Speaking less does not mean being afraid to express yourself. It means becoming intentional with your words. You understand that your words carry weight, so you no longer feel pressured to fill every silence, impress everyone, or explain every decision. You become comfortable with pauses. You remain present. And that presence becomes its own form of strength. The wisest person in the room is often not the loudest. She is the one who watches carefully, listens deeply, and refuses to react before understanding what is actually happening. Life often rewards those who observe before they act. A woman who develops this discipline becomes much harder to deceive because she learns to look beyond appearances. She understands that trust must be earned, respect develops over time, and silence can reveal what words attempt to hide. She protects her privacy without becoming emotionally distant. She embraces mystery without playing manipulative games. She remains committed to her purpose without losing her compassion. She moves through life with quiet confidence because she no longer needs to announce her worth. And perhaps that is the deepest lesson of all. A woman's greatest power is not found in everything she reveals. It is found in the wisdom she chooses to preserve. True wisdom is not about controlling another person. It is about mastering yourself. The things a wise woman refuses to give away carelessly are her deepest vulnerabilities and the purpose of her life. She protects them not because she is afraid, but because she understands their value. Sacred silence protects her peace. Privacy protects what is still growing. Mystery allows respect to develop naturally. Observation reveals truths that words often hide. And when she stops exposing her emotional world too quickly and refuses to make another person the center of her existence, something powerful changes. She becomes calm when others are reactive, grounded when others are dependent, secure when others are seeking approval. Her value no longer depends on someone else's opinion because she has learned to recognize and honor her own worth. Remember this: your silence can be strength, your boundaries can be wisdom, and your purpose is sacred. Protect them carefully.